Today is a day I have been waiting for so long. Waiting for, saving for, excited for. Today's the day we get solar panels on our forever home. I can't believe this is real. But first, I try to get a little bit of activity in every day, and recently I found what I'm thinking is like a secret food forest, because I have a friend, Tanzia, you'll actually meet her later. She is like super into the food scene, right? She's all about food justice, food equity, and she didn't even know this existed. But there is a food forest near my house, walking distance from my house, and a lot of things here are in bloom right now, so this is my favorite place to get my movement in every day right now, because little things change every single day, and it's so fun for me. I'll show you a few of them. We're coming up on the peaches right now. You know, the thing about the food forest is it feels like they're trying to keep it a secret, which I feel like kind of defeats the purpose of a food forest. But I also don't think that most people who walk by here even know that it is, because I only know, there's no sign or anything. I only know because I was walking one day and I was like, that looks like a fig tree. Weird. And then I kept walking and I thought, I think that's a citrus of some kind. And I kept walking and then I saw an olive tree. And then I knew. I was like, this does not make sense. This is not normal. And then sure enough, there's like dozens of varieties of food trees here. So it is very exciting. And I say it's close to my house, but it's not necessarily close. It's a pretty far walk. So when I make myself come over here, I allow myself to get a little treat from the coffee shop that's nearby. So let's do that and then go home and get ready for solar. I made it home just in time. Solar people not here, but almost here. I'm gonna change and we'll talk about the whole solar setup throughout the day. It's gonna be a little bit complicated because the system is going mostly in my front yard, and I don't want to show too much of my front yard for like obvious safety reasons, but they're gonna be here throughout the day. And actually, miraculously, they told me it's only gonna take a few hours, which is crazy. And I'll run out there to get clips throughout the day, but I don't want to be in their way. This is gonna be a long tangent. Let me get dressed while we're talking about it. So I posted on my story that I was thinking about buying some garden beds because I've only had ones made out of wood in the past, and I just don't think they could last quite as long. Oh, can you see me there? No. I think that if I invested in some metal garden beds, they would last longer. And so I was asking on my Instagram story if anybody has experience with either wood beds lasting longer than 10 years or the metal beds overall. And I was saying like, I hope I can find some secondhand, but if not, then I'm gonna buy them and it'll be the thing that I own for like the rest of my life. And my friend Tanzia replied and was like, I actually have a box, one of those unopened, sitting in my garage. I'll bring it to you. So she's coming over to bring that. We're gonna set it up. Oh, she might have to go, but I'm gonna try to set it up so that I'll stay out of their hair while they're installing the solar panels. But I'll run out there and get clips throughout the day to share with you. Okay, now I wanna say a huge thank you to SunPower because they are sponsoring this video. They are who I chose to go with for solar. And I have been manifesting working with a solar company for years. Like I really wanna work with a solar company because I knew once we got into this house, we definitely wanted to do solar. But the reason I'm so excited that I actually get to work with SunPower is because through my research of researching solar companies while trying to manifest getting to work with one, SunPower's name kept coming up over and over and over again. And from all the research I did and all the things I personally love about them, they are the most reputable residential solar provider. They are the only one to have outlived their 25-year warranty. Let that sink in. Of all the other companies out there, they're the only one to outlive their 25-year warranty. And solar is obviously like a really great and eco-friendly choice, but there are some concerns when it comes to the materials, how they're mined, how they're recycled, those sort of things. And the thing that really, really won me over, they are cradle to cradle certified. And if you've been following me for a while, well, A, you know I love a certification, but B, you know that I've talked about cradle to cradle certified as like the god tier of certifications. It's hard to get. I had a whole class dedicated to the process of it in college. And when I see that certification, like I am much more at peace of knowing I'm supporting a good brand. But they're also the #1 rated solar company in the US by consumers. So I'm just so excited that this is finally happening. And I think they just pulled up. They're here, set up, ready to go. Like I said, I'm just gonna show you glimpses of the front yard just to protect my privacy. But Tanzia will also be here any moment now with the garden beds. It's so bright out there. The way we have like a tile on our front porch, and the way the sun in the morning just blinds you. Madison just came downstairs because our Imperfect order is also being delivered while all of this is going on. I always seem to vlog on this channel on Imperfect food days. I guess that's just how my schedule works out. But most of the things in the Imperfect box today are things for Madison's family. Her whole family is coming into town this weekend, and we're gonna be spending a weekend with them. So we bought a bunch of stuff to feed all of the people. Snacks, breakfast foods, things like that. She really is bringing in like 5 boxes right now. What the heck did you do?
I told you to check it before we ordered.
Why do I have to check and make sure you don't get 5 boxes of food? Oh no, babe.
I just imagine this is what my sister's life is like because she has 4 kids. She goes through this much food like in 2 days.
I do love Imperfect foods though, because you get things that otherwise would be thrown away. A lot of the things in here were labeled as excess inventory, which there are millions of people in this world who are hungry, and then we're throwing food away because of excess inventory. What a world we live in. But I know that all of the Smart Sweets, they're not normally on Imperfect, but they were this week, and which is really good because I think we're gonna have a movie night with everybody. So these are like perfect snacks for everyone. Saving food waste from the landfill.
What's up, Pepper?
Okay, Tansy had an appointment this morning actually, so she had to go, and I completely forgot to get a little clip from her talking about herb. So I'm just gonna tell you about it a little bit, and I'll leave a link down below. But basically she owns this organization. She's in the process of becoming a nonprofit. It's called Herb, and it's basically run by her and a few of her friends, like her community. But they host a bunch of different events that center around food and culture and connecting those things. Basically, she's very cool. The organization she's working to build is really cool, and she just happened to have an extra garden bed for me. So definitely go check her out. I love her. She offered to come back tomorrow and help me build this, so we'll see if I end up doing it today or not. Honestly, I'm not in a super hurry about it, but I definitely wanted to share it with you because some things in life sometimes that just work out after I've like been manifesting them, it blows my mind. And I've never been one to really believe in the power of manifestation, but my life is just continually working out in miraculous ways these days.
It even amazes me that I get everything that I want.
This is what's really cool about these beds too, is that they send them all, like this is all the pieces that it comes with. These are all the options you have to make a bed out of. So I think I'm gonna do this one. This is typical 8x4. This is what I've done in the past, but with wood. This is, I think, my goal. But see how this one is like 2.5 feet by 9.5 feet? I actually think that on the side of my house, might be a good place to put a couple of those long skinny ones to grow smaller things in, like herbs or vining plants that you can like trellis up, because I have this section over here that gets pretty good sun, but it's not a lot of space. So maybe long term I'll think about that. And then over here is the flattest part and the part that gets the most light. So this is where I'm gonna put the 8x4. I think I'm gonna put a few 8x4s here. I think I can fit 3, and then maybe I'll put 1 or 2 more over here, because this is the place that gets the most light because of all these trees. It's also the flattest part of the yard, so that just kind of works out. Now that I realize that those beds can be made into long skinny ones, I also think I could plop one right there. That would be so perfect, I think. I don't know. I'm so excited for the possibilities now. Oh, by the way, if I remember tonight, I will show you. But we have not touched this backyard. If you can see, this is not clover, but it's called like creeping daisy, I think. We have not touched the yard. When all the leaves fell from the pecan trees, we left them there. The girls went around like as they're doing currently. Can you see them? And they scratched up the yard. That's just what they do. And you can barely tell that there was ever leaf debris here because it's already so ground up. And I think because we didn't mow, we didn't mess with the leaves, and the girls being out here kind of managing other pests maybe, we have an abundant amount of fireflies out here. And the creeping daisy is getting a little thick over there, and it's making me a little nervous for nope ropes or danger noodles, as people call them in the Facebook group. But I was starting to get a little bit nervous about snakes over there in that taller grass. But when I looked up basically how I could foster a better habitat for fireflies once I saw them, and they're so magical, basically all I found on the internet was like, leave your fucking yard alone. Don't pick up the leaves, don't disturb the bugs that live in the ground. And I think at the end of the day, that's why we have so many fireflies, because we didn't disrupt their habitat over the winter and, you know, fall and those sort of things. And you can see this side like really is really brown. There's kind of a divide where it comes from brown to green. That could be because the girls scratched there, but it could also be because this tree started getting leaves before the other one, so I think it just was getting less light. Anyway, so many garden updates all the time. I'm gonna go check out the solar guys. They should be almost done actually. And then I need to run to the grocery store to get stuff for Madison's family coming into town this weekend. Okay, I just went out there and they are basically done. They're just cleaning up, and then they have someone here with a drone, I think just so that they can see the project, like the managers from the ground can see what's going on up there. But I asked him if he wouldn't mind taking a video clip of us from our balcony that is on our, it's on the second floor and it's right below where the solar is. So I'm gonna see if I can get that footage from him and I'll put it in here for you. You guys, there's solar on my roof. There's solar. Okay, and just like that, we have solar. They're done. You guys, I'm in shock and I could cry because I can't believe this is real. I've shared a lot over the years about how like we weren't gonna put solar on the San Antonio house when we were there because we knew we were gonna leave. I shared like over time about how we knew we wanted to end up back in Austin. Like I've talked about these things for years, and honestly when it comes to the solar setup and this home in Austin, we saved so intentionally for years to have these things. It's actually wild to me, like something you've been planning for years and it really comes to fruition. I don't even know how else to describe, like it just feels amazing. I don't know, it's just so fulfilling. And also, speaking of saving for and the solar setup, there's a lot that goes into the solar, like before you get it, and then there's also a lot that goes into it after you get it. And I will say that I did pay for these solar panels. I am working with SunPower on this video, and then I'll work with them on some other content, but I am paying for my solar system myself, and that is something that Madison and I have, again, been saving for years. So I'll talk more about the finances of that in the Q&A video. Basically, any questions you have about solar, leave them below, because the process leading up to this, there's a lot that you need to know. And it was really nice working with SunPower because they kind of held my hand through the whole process, because there are federal tax credits. There's also a rebate from my city. There's all kinds of like permitting and paperwork and numbers you have to run. And honestly, SunPower just did a lot of that for me, but held my hand through the process of all the things that I had to do myself. And now that they're installed, we're not technically generating electricity just yet, or we're not feeding back into the grid just yet, because Austin Energy then has to come out, inspect it, say that SunPower did everything good, and then we'll be operating. So I want to make sure that before I speak to if I like solar and like how it's working and all those sort of things, I want to make sure that like we're actually using it for a while before I speak to that, right? Like if you've been following me for a while, I'm not the kind of person who talks about anything before I have significant experience with it, so solar is obviously no exception. So leave any questions you have about the whole process, and then we'll have a dedicated video going through all of the situation, answering all of your questions. But right now, we're headed to the grocery store, so I scooted back for that. Oh, also, you know what I do? I feel like I don't know how much I am supposed to talk in vlogs because I could talk all day long. So I was just gonna show you this. I've never used this bag before. It might still even have the tag on it. It does. YouTube sent me this, I think for, what was this for? What did we do? I think it says on here. Oh, when I went to New York with them last year, they did like a fashion runway thing all used with upcycled materials. And they had these made for us. Look how big this thing is. It's my whole arm span. They had these made for us out of recycled materials and they sent it to us, and it's insulated, but I completely forgot about it. I just found it the other day and I think I could put everything in here. So I decided I'd bring it today, and then just all my regular produce bags and stuff. But okay, let's go get groceries. 1 Prius, 2 Prius, 3 Prius. I mentioned, Madison's family is coming into town, and I asked them what snacks they want, like for movie night, and her aunt said homemade chocolate chip cookies with pecans. And Madison is obliging, so I need some chocolate chips. Madison is not a baker, neither am I, but in honor of the whole family coming over for the first time, I guess she's doing it.
Oh, I remember we did have one for pecans, but then your mom came here and she ate everything except for the crumbs.
I wasn't thinking about changing my outfit for the next thing I have to do. I didn't even tell you, I'm just not realizing. But I think I would be more comfortable if I just wore something like as if this isn't casual. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. This might be like the perfect outfit. Let me tell you what I'm doing. I recently became something in Austin called a zero waste block leader. It's basically a program with the city of Austin, and you go through this orientation. They teach you about recycling, composting, all the really cool initiatives that the city of Austin has to like repair, recycle, hard to recycle things, all that kind of stuff. Then you just kind of get certified to be a zero waste block leader. They give you a sign, and basically your job is to help out your community whenever they need help recycling things, whenever they have questions. You can go around, and for me, I plan on presenting at my neighborhood meetings about how we can be recycling in our neighborhood, etc. And we have meetings like every month or so, and we have one tonight, so that's where I'm headed. And I'm just trying to figure out if I want to wear this or if I want to change into something else. Do you want to go too? You do? You can't go. You're a bad car rider. I'm sorry. Alright, I just decided to put my hair up in a claw clip to get it off of my neck, and then I think I'll be less hot. Because I think this outfit, it's like linen, and that's usually like a pretty cool fabric. It's a dress, so obviously it's not too hot. It's short sleeve. Like, I think this is fine. Just maybe need to put my hair up. Look at these two.
Bye, babe.
Look at him.
Bye, babe.
See you later.
So the whole reason Madison's family is coming into town is because her sister Kara is here for a medical conference. And since she's already in town, Madison's gonna go hang out with her tonight. Fortunately and unfortunately, I have this meeting. I really want to come to this meeting, but I hate that I have to miss Kara, but we'll see her this weekend. It'll be fine.
These out in the newsletter, which will be out again at the end of next week.
Thank you. Okay, I made it home from my meeting. Sorry I was a little awkward. It's still weird for me. It never won't be weird to me if people don't know that I do YouTube, for me to like whip out my camera and record people, because it's a weird thing to explain to people that I do this. But the girls have put themselves to bed. We love to see it. I brought you out here because I told you earlier that I would show you the Fireflies, and they are just now coming out as I am arriving home. But what I've noticed is they come out at dusk, and then they kind of light up, and then by the time it gets like actually dark, they're gone. So it's a very narrow window to see them. I think I can zoom better with my phone because this camera is more of a wide angle lens, not really zoom in. Okay, let's see if I can get you some. My Fireflies are my greatest achievement currently. I talked about this a lot earlier in the video, so I won't go too far into this right now, but really because I've taken this season off of gardening and really focused on fostering like wildlife and like biodiversity in my yard, Fireflies are an evident like part of that. Like, they are a tangible way to prove that I am fostering a wildlife habitat in my yard. They're my greatest source of joy right now. That and sunflowers. There's one blooming in my front yard right now, and that also makes me very happy. And I just hope that more people get to find the joy in the small things, because that's what brought me a lot of joy today. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I would love to get in the habit of filming these more, so let me know what you'd like to see in a day in life video. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Huge shout out to SunPower for sponsoring this video. Look forward to a Q&A coming soon about all the things that you have to ask about solar in the comments. And remember, until next time, you cannot do all the good that the world needs, but the world needs all the good that you can do. Bye guys.